Hi, I'm Bill Vitiello, the chairman for the Montgomery County Community College Alumni Association. I represent 65,000 alumni that went right here to Montgomery County Community College. You're about to hear some great stories of some of our alumni, and I'm so proud to share them with you today.
Hi, I'm Brent Hoyer, house engineer and sound designer for People's Light Theater in Malvern, PA. I graduated from the SRT program in 2016, and I have since been working in the field. Right after graduation, I was a freelance engineer in Philly. I worked for Bowder Audio. I worked freelancing for different producers and mixing studio work and live audio in the area before I got the gig at People's Light. And I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. It's very different. It never really gets old. I would say SRT prepared me for this career mostly by getting me involved. When I was in the program, I was working at the Lively Arts series as an intern. I was working with industry standard professionals. I was working with David Ivory and the people and producers and artists that he was working with. And it was great to just be able to work on that scale and on that level because it makes you feel so much more comfortable than going out into the world and going out into the field and working with people like that. And it pays, it just pays dividends. Working in this field has been so rewarding. It doesn't get old. It's a lot of fun. And where I'm at now is People's Light Theater. So I'm a house engineer. I mix live theater, and I do sound design for live theater as well. And from there, who knows? I don't know where we'll go from here.
So the SRT program at Montco definitely prepared me for my career in a lot of different ways. My first semester here, we got a lot of hands-on experience working in the recording studios and working with different digital audio workstations like Pro Tools and Reason and Digital Performer. Softwares that professionals use to make music and to record music. So while I was going to school here, I was also working in the theater, the Performing Arts Theater here at Montco, doing audio for their live events. So my second year or so, I was kind of realizing that my passion was more so doing live audio instead of working in a recording studio. And that's the cool thing about the SRT program, is that I think there are a lot of different routes that you can take once you graduate. So I graduated in August and recently got a job working at Cabrini University, doing sound for them for their live events. My future plans are to get my bachelor's degree in either events management or maybe computer science, since I will be doing some IT work for the university.
Hi, my name is Kevin Folk. I'm an SRT alumni, and I think that this program really helped me, give me the time and the tools to really get out there and do what I love and follow my dreams. Immediately after graduation, I was on a plane to LA to talk to Katy Perry's engineer and just connect with him. And then I flew back and got a job as A&R for a local label. And then that spring, I was on tour doing my first full Yes run with a signed band. On top of that, I've opened a studio, I've worked in radio production, I've pretty much done it all, and I'd have to count all that to the SRT program.
Hello, I love SRT. The SRT program has been such a blessing to me. I'm a professional singer, a musician, I play the piano, and just gradually discovered that I love to create music. And from the professors, the classes, they've been so encouraging every step of the way. They've been very, 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 very instrumental in my career. I don't know if you all know, but I used to sing in Sunday Best, and it was like a televised program, and they were so supportive of me. I'll never, ever, ever forget. And honestly, being a part of the program really prepared me for interviews. Sometimes we would have to go in the studio, do certain things, And it just prepared me. I was so ready, and I couldn't believe how so ready I was. I just cannot say enough how the classes have prepared me so much, as far as like the hearing and hearing different sounds, and the technical, talking about oscillators, preamps, like what singer knows anything about that, but I know about them. Chord changes, arranging songs, and taking this out and putting this in, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful journey that they put us on, and all the information is just excellent, state of the art. I've sang with gospel artist Yolanda Adams. I've sang with Kirk Whalum, the very famous jazz saxophonist who played for Whitney Houston, and I was so prepared. I was just there. And I knew that I wouldn't have been so prepared if it wasn't for the SRT program. So I really, really encourage anyone, all ages, don't give up and come to Montco SRT. It's beautiful.
Hi, I'm David Tatasciore, class of 2013, back when the program was called Digital Audio Production before it was SRT. Okay, boomer. I'm the senior audio producer at Cafe, a company based in Manhattan, where we produce 2 weekly podcasts hosted by former U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara. I'm responsible for editing and mixing those shows, as well as writing scripts, booking guests, hiring tape syncers. But the place where it all started for me was helping to produce MC3 on the Air with the great Matt Porter. I was always interested in public radio and podcasting, so working on that show was really a great outlet for that. I learned how to set up and run tracking sessions for interviews, edit and mix the episodes, work with talent, and that really formed the basis for everything I do in my job today. Before Cafe, I worked at a post-production studio in Brooklyn called Full English Post. We did a lot of sound for picture jobs, so TV, commercials, short films, but we were also contracted by this one client to sound design and mix their fiction podcast series, about 2 or 3 10 to 15 minute episodes per week. So we were responsible for creating this immersive sonic environment for each episode, really at the level you would expect from a film. The atmos of whatever space the characters were in, whether it was a particular type of room, outside, or wherever. The spot effects like footsteps or a door opening. We built all of that up from scratch using our effects libraries, mixed it with music, voiceover, and dialogue. I learned a lot about how to do this type of work on the job, but the first place I was ever taught sound design and sound for picture was in my classes at Montco, pretty early on, in fact. And I think those are just such important skills for anyone in audio to have. Doing that kind of work, it taught me how to be creative, but also at the same time how to work really, really fast in Pro Tools. And I can't overstate how important that is when you're on a deadline with a client, whatever the job may be.
Hey, my name is Matt Carlin and I'm a Montco alum. Montco has done so much for me and played a huge part in where I'm at in my life right now. Because of the school's affordability and wide range of degrees offered, I was able to explore all of my interests and really find my own path. I got my Associates of Fine Arts in 2004, went and worked as a photographer for a few years afterwards, and then returned back to Montco to study sound recording after I saw a poster for Michael Kelly's songwriting class. In that class, I met my buddy Ethan Kane, and we started the band The Funky Tea. There's a significance there that I'll come back to in a minute. After I exhausted all the recording technology classes that were available, I was able to get an internship with David Ivory. Because of my background in sound and art, I brought a lot of value to the studio and worked not only as a sound engineer, but also created graphics and maintained his website, among other things. I worked closely with David over the years and earned enough credits as a sound engineer to join NARIS and vote on the Grammys. And we also created the record label Flexitone Records together. After my internship, I got my BA in art from Penn State University, and 10 days after graduation, I started work on a cruise ship with my band, The Funky Tea. For the next 2 years, I was a full-time musician who got to travel the world with my best bubs, exploring places like Australia, Russia, Greece, and everywhere in between. There I met a great girl and decided to get married and move across the country to San Diego, where I currently live. For the past 2.5 years, I've been working as a live sound engineer and also as a freelance image editor. My buddy from work asked me to help build a recording studio, and now we're both the proud owners of Room and Board Recordings. I can trace my current path back to that poster from MK's songwriting class. If I had never decided to pursue my interests, I never would have met Ethan, and subsequently never would have met my wife on the cruise ship. Montco gave me the opportunity to find my path. Michael Kelly and David Ivory showed me that there are many opportunities to find work in the music business, and it's not all about being a rock star. You have to find your niche and determine your own level of success. They've always been there, not only for career advice, but also for life advice, and we still talk regularly, and I consider them both friends. I owe a lot to Montco, who will always be grateful for the opportunities the school's given me.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here and share my journey and some insight on kind of what I went through on my path to music, and then kind of give some insight on what exactly MerchCat does and the thought process that I went through to create the platform, and then obviously answer any questions that I can that you guys might have on anything related to anything that I talk about or anything else. So with that, I'll get started. MerchCat is a platform for artists to sell and manage their merchandise at live shows. So it's a 2-app platform right now. One is a merchandise management app that artists use at their own merch table, and the other is a fan app where fans can go in and buy the merchandise and pick it up at the merch table, and it has a connected sales and inventory system. So
what I'm here to talk about today is business arrangements for musicians. You know, it's the music business, but it's not just about the music. It is about the business. I call it a pennies business because if you take care of the pennies, then the dollars will land in your bank account.
5 key elements that when you use these elements in a positive way and you weave these elements into your everyday life, into the fabric of your everyday life, and you use them so much and so often that they become part of you, you'll be amazed at the opportunities, the ideas, the positive ideas, the solutions to your impending problems, your little signpost about where to go and what not to do and whatever. You'll be amazed at the opportunities that will present themselves when you apply these principles to your life. And all of these opportunities are there to move you forward in your career.
That might not be something you're aware of, that perhaps the Career Placement Office at various schools may overlook, or faculty members that you're working with at the school here may have discussed, and it's, in my opinion, my purpose to help confirm those particular topics that you might be interested in.
I'm hoping that this is a little bit of an eye-opener as far as jobs, and I thought it was really important for Martin to come down, because not the biggest question I always get, mainly from your parents, not from you, is what are the job opportunities? And oftentimes people don't understand, especially your parents, may not understand all the different jobs that are available to you through this degree. And that is right there for you. And it's not like you have to move somewhere. Right here in Philadelphia, there's restoration companies. Like he said, there's professional AV production, all right in this whole area, as well as sound. It's not like you just have to be an engineer. There's many things, as he's saying, to the stepping stone to a career. So I feel it's very important. This is going to be online on our masterclass series. It's mc3.edu/masterclass. So we'll have this on here so you can reference this to your parents or to whomever, and more importantly yourself, to remind you of all the different opportunities that are well, for you here in audio production.
Looking forward, not back, doesn't matter what I lack, cause I know that I gotta keep my life on track. Fly away, no telling how high we'll stay. Though it's a journey, you gotta stay strong. It won't take long, follow the words of this song. Take control, come on, we're almost home. Our path is laid, it's a brand new day. Take the globe and for the strong. It won't take long, follow the words of this song.
Take the globe, unfold the great unknown.
Looking forward, not back, doesn't matter what I lack, cause I know that I gotta keep my life on track.
Take the globe, unfold the great unknown.
Though it's a journey, you gotta stay strong. It won't take long, follow the words of this song.